Hey everybody, this is a quick discussion. So, Elmer Stewart Rhodes has been sentenced to 18 years in federal prison for seditious conspiracy and a set of other crimes. The maximum sentence for seditious conspiracy is 20 years. And the other ones may have been, I don't know, 5, 10, or whatever. So, the Department of Justice recommended 25 years because of seditious conspiracy, certain terrorism enhancements, and the other crimes that he committed in the indictment that was presented. And 18 years was 7 years less than what the DOJ recommended. It's still 18 years, y'all. It's still almost 2 decades. And honestly, the way that he made his closing statement, which was more like a battle cry than a show of contrition, I doubt that he's going to get out anytime before the 18 years. Although, you never know, this is, ultimately still a very disparate system. I just read that somebody who had been in prison for 33 years was finally freed after the law enforcement determined that this person didn't commit the crime. So he wrongfully spent 33 years in prison, whereas people are saying that Stewart Rhodes may not completely, you know, uh, completely complete his full sentence of 18 years. Whatever the case is, he's going to be in for a long time. Uh, I felt like it was a little light. Obviously DOJ felt like it was 25. Judge said that it's 18. I thought 21 would have been a good number. And I want to tell you that mitigating factors, despite the fact that he showed no contrition, one put in mitigating factor is that Stewart Rhodes had no priors. He didn't have a criminal record. And so if you don't have a criminal record and this is your first offense, he started out with a bang, so to speak. But it is a huge mitigating factor in his sentencing. That's built in. The judge has to consider that. On the flip side, we'll probably see at the end of this year Enrique Tarrio's sentencing, and I believe that will be longer than 18 years because Enrique was charged and he spent 6 months in jail for flag burning, and he wasn't allowed in DC. He was coordinating things from other places and taking, enigmatic pictures of himself in front of the Capitol and saying we did that on his chats. So he was being a seditionist from afar, but he had already been charged for a crime and finished out his sentence about a few months before January 6th happened. So there is a good chance that Enrique Tarrio's sentencing, if the DOJ seeks a similar enhancements, domestic terrorism enhancements, then Tarrio will get more than 18 years. And this is also a reminder that throughout Elmer's and throughout Tarrio's trials, Donald Trump has come up numerous times. Donald Trump came up in the defense's closing statement in Elmer's trial, came up in the first seditious conspiracy trial of Oath Keepers that didn't involve Stewart. It also came up in Enrique's seditious conspiracy trial, which also ended in a conviction. So it's very difficult to imagine a scenario where the Department of Justice isn't looking at Donald Trump. And we know from the subpoenas and we know from the fact that Pence has testified that Jack Smith is moving along quite steadily into figuring out what was said between them. Pat Cipollone has already testified. A lot of the others have testified. News came out from one source that Mark Meadows is testifying. I have to see that more clearly. If that happened, that means that Donald Trump lost the executive privilege lawsuit that he had filed to stop Mark Meadows and other White House officials from testifying. If that's the case, then Jack Smith really has nothing stopping him, and Donald Trump really is out of all delay tactics. So, because where last time we were at before they went dark because wanted to keep everything sealed, Mike Pence was taking his speech or debate clause to the courts, which he lost, and then he has already testified. Scott Perry was in the 11th Circuit arguing against the government having his phone. We don't know what happened to that, but we do know what happened to the district court, where the district court categorically told him what he could and could not say. Very similar to what Mike Pence's ruling was. And can't imagine that suit not going, because the oral arguments for the Circuit Court of Appeals has already happened. So can't see that not having gone its course as well. And if Mark Meadows is cooperating, it's because Donald Trump either lost or didn't take his appeal to the Supreme Court about the White House officials and the executive privilege case. So if that is the case, then it's a matter of time that we will see some sort of movement on the indictment or grand jury concluding side by the end of this year. I know I keep pushing it, but these things move at the pace that the evidence comes, the information comes, and it is, as I have said, turned into evidence admissible in a court of law, which means it has to be quadruple verified to make sure that it is what it is. So that's what we're waiting for now. And, Fani Willis has said that she would announce sometime between July and August. So we just have to wait now. And, the Mar-a-Lago documents case seems to be more imminent than the January 6th case, because Donald's lawyer sent out some sort of a, desperate attempt in the last minute. It's not going to work if it hasn't worked already. I heard from a source that Merrick Garland has said no, but that, again, is not, I have to verify. It's not fully verified. So that's where we stand with the seditious conspiracy of Donald Trump and his henchmen. I believe the Friends of Stone will be something that we hear about in the seditious conspiracy context next, and also the fake elector scheme with various types of obstruction and other charges that may include Mastriano, Eastman, and Giuliani, Mark Meadows, unless he's a cooperating witness, Giuliani, unless he's a greatly cooperating witness and bending over backwards. I don't know how he can. Well, we've seen him, he can. So that's where we are. This year is the year of indictments and revelations. And so we just have to hold on and focus on the courts, okay? Focus on the court reporters coming out. Focus on Scott McFarlane, Kyle Cheney, Ryan J. Riley, Roger Parloff. There's also Brandy Buckman. There's Lisa Desjardins. There's many people, congressional reporters, and they put and Kyle, did I say Kyle Cheney? They put out the documents, the court documents, the instant they become public, and a lot of times they overzealously do that. So read those documents. I am describing those documents as we go on my channel. So if you have any questions about it, you can always come to me. And if you have any questions about it on YouTube or on Twitter, just write a comment and I will do my best to get to you. So thank you very much. And please, if you've liked this video, like and subscribe and share and comment. It really helps me out with the algorithms. I have no idea what algorithms mean, but por favor, señores.